Hey guys, I thought I'd check this video and showing some of the content that we're actually going to be getting. The big man Tico himself, he's pretty much going to be explaining and giving everyone a rundown on all the updates and improvements in the game. And there's some really huge updates for global and Korean, and even some Korean and global updates are going to be sort of merged together, as well as a lot of content towards like the auction house and making things less pay to win. It's going to be huge. Like seriously, like there's some big updates come through right now as of the 31st, and they're game changing. And I have to admit, all of you should want to watch a video like this, whether it's from me or someone else showing Tico's video and on all the updates. It's massive. I mean, absolutely massive. So let's hear what the big man has to say. He's a big gamer as well in Throne and Liberty, but he plays a big part for Throne and Liberty. So, yeah, let's hear what he has to say.
What's up, gamers? Welcome to Tico Talks Throne and Liberty. My name's Tico, and I'm the Globalization Design Manager at Amazon Games for Throne and Liberty. And I'm here to give you some updates on the game and a little peek at what's coming soon. I've been spending a ton of time in the game, having a blast with all of you, and now that we just released our Haunted Harvest Halloween update, I'm even more excited. I hope everyone has had a chance to check out the event. The limited time Haunted Labyrinth Dungeon is so fun, and I love seeing all the clever things people are doing with their outfits to get in the festive mood. Let's talk a bit about how things have been going and what we're planning in the coming months. First, I want to give a huge thank you to the millions of players that have joined us so far on this journey. We wanted to make sure that crossplay was enabled from day one, and it's been awesome to see that investment pay off. This great community has grown so quickly in this first month, and we're just getting started. Of course, any game launch of this magnitude has lots of craziness that comes with it. We've been in constant contact with NCSoft to address player feedback, and we hope you've seen some of that in the last few weeks. So let's talk more about how we're moving forward. Let's start with a topic we all hate and every MMO deals with: bots. The battle against bots is well underway, and I want to tell you a bit about what we're doing to attack bots on multiple fronts. First, we're continuing to improve our detection algorithms and are now running those daily to ban bots as quickly as possible. Second, we're attacking the areas in which bots can operate and continuing to look for ways to make it difficult for bots to do business. But we want to do that while minimizing the impact to real player experience. We have some plans related to the auction house to impose protections to limit bots' impact there. We will share more on that once we are able, but can't reveal too much detail that could be used to circumvent our safeguards. Third, we're actively actioning players who engage in RMT behavior. Participating in RMT negatively impacts several aspects of the game, including empowering bot activity, compromising the hard work of players who follow the rules, and more. We will continue to action players with more severe punishments as appropriate, including negative loose imbalances, full auction house lockouts, suspensions, and bans, as we have zero tolerance for this type of behavior. The next thing I want to talk to you about is world bosses, which are garnering a lot of discussion in the community. So I want to take some time to discuss that. First, let's talk about loot drops. Many of you have been feeling that world bosses have often left you feeling disappointed because you don't feel there's a meaningful chance to acquire gear during these events. Very much so. To improve this, we're going to do two things. First, we're going to increase the number of portals that appear for peace mode bosses.
That's massive.
The portals will be generated based on player counts, but on average, I would expect you to see at least one more portal per boss. This should help spread players out across more fights, giving more opportunities to acquire drops.
Shit, yeah.
The second thing is we're introducing a new chest drop that has a chance to be included in your participation reward after the boss dies.
What?
This chest will allow you to select one of any of the epic items the boss can drop, which we hope will also give players the agency of choosing a reward that's most relevant to them.
Wow. That on its own, we get to choose out of that chest what one we want. Wow. One epic weapon. That's crazy. That is massive. That's going to be a game changer just there, I reckon, on its own. That'll keep, pardon me, most of the player count up high, because they're not going to feel robbed doing just peaceful world bosses, you know. So that is huge. That is definitely massive. That is, wow.
All items from this chest will be untradeable, though the non-weapon items can be lithographed if the player chooses. Players can expect both of these changes to be live following our maintenance on October 31st.
So they're live.
We've also been paying attention to the impact that the Eclipse skill is having on peace mode bosses occurring within Abyss dungeons. We think that this is disrupting the expected flow of gameplay for individuals attempting to participate in peace mode bosses, which are meant to be a PvP-free experience for those players.
Yep.
So we're making an adjustment so that when peace mode bosses spawn in dungeons, there will be an additional new portal outside the dungeon that will take players directly to the safe zone inside the dungeon.
Oh, that's
This
cool.
way they can enter the peace mode boss as expected without passing through areas that may have turned into a conflict zone due to the Eclipse skill.
Oh, that is so true. Like, I can't tell you how many times me and my mates and my brothers and my son, we've all gone there and everything's sweet. They open the gate and then the guild pretty much turns it into Eclipse and shuts the gate on us, especially at the Sanctum. And you can't get in, but it also in turn turns it into a PvP zone, which people aren't going there for that. So now that they're going to have a portal on the outside and you get teleported straight to the boss, that is crazy. That is shit hot. That's going to bring so much more back to the game. And at least everyone has a fair chance to go versus that boss in peace. That is awesome. That is a massive change.
This change is expected to go live in mid-November. The Eclipse skill itself will continue to change the dungeon into conflict mode, as always. Finally, for bosses, there's been talk about how contribution works in relation to the loot drops. Later this week, we will be releasing an article that defines and describes how loot distribution works across all content types. But I want to briefly touch on this specifically for Conflict World bosses. With the recent change locking boss loot to the original owner for 10 minutes, some guilds have been wondering what the value of PvP is in these events. The spirit of the Conflict World boss is that guilds are fighting to control the area to allow their guild to damage the boss and raise their contribution, thus increasing their chances to get better loot. In addition to increasing your own contribution, though, you can also decrease other guilds' contribution. In conflict mode, you do this by killing players from rival guilds, which will reduce that player's contribution by 70% each death.
Ow.
So reducing another guild's contribution
Points.
increases your relative contribution. So it's a major factor in determining the loot that can drop for you. We are working on introducing some contextual UI indicators of contribution amounts, and we hope that this will help guilds be more strategic about which opponents to focus their attacks on. Moving on from world bosses, I want to talk about co-op dungeons. We have made 3 recent changes to matchmaking for dungeons. To help with queue experiences, we introduced a new option to queue for a random dungeon when using party matchmaking, and we made a change to better match players based on their combat power, to better align group capabilities. To help with completion rates, we increased the damage and HP buff when queuing through matchmaking to be 10%, up from 5%.
Yeah, that's massive.
All of these changes went live on October 17th.
October 17th.
Then, in order to improve the rate in which players can acquire their desired gear, we made another change following the Haunted Harvest Halloween update that provides a bonus reward when queuing for random dungeons. Each successful random dungeon completion will reward 1 additional dimensional soul shard, and will also have a chance at a larger reward of 1 dimensional essence. We hope that these changes have had a meaningful impact to your experience with co-op dungeons. We're going to keep monitoring the data, we're going to keep listening to player feedback, and we'll continue to tweak if needed.
That's awesome.
All right, let's talk now about some major systems that players may already be familiar with because of their time playing on the Korean service. In particular, I want to talk about 2 systems, Substance Transformation and the Rune system. And I want to be very clear here. Neither of these systems will launch in our service with their current functionality. We're working closely with NCSoft to make updates, and both systems will be improved in a way that will satisfy both Korean and global users.
So at the moment, we don't have any of those systems yet. On the Korean servers, they do. And pretty much there is a sort of like, especially with the Rune system, a more pay to win, massively pay to win system on there at the moment, which, yeah, there's a few changes that could be made. It's going to cap a lot of players if they're going to do that, actually. So let's see.
While not all changes are finalized, here are some things I can say for now. For the Rune system, it will have at a minimum the following adjustments. First, Rune slot unlocking will no longer require RNG to obtain your desired slot type.
Cool.
Second, we're introducing a separate Rune bag with improved searching capabilities to reduce the burden on your traditional inventory and storage, while also making it easier to find your desired runes.
That's cool. Yeah.
For Substance Transformation, it will at a minimum be changed so that tradable items cannot be used in the system. This means you cannot infinitely buy items from the auction house to feed the system to earn rewards. Since the amount of items that can be fed may be decreased because of this, we're evaluating the requirements of how much has to be fed into the system to gain rewards.
So pretty much they've just killed the Korean servers with that at the moment. They've removed the pay to win aspect of it when it comes to the ruin slots and ruins now. So that's actually really good because it just means some aspect of the game is going to be able to, not be primarily pay to win. And I know in the Korean servers for the ruins, it was, you could literally, it was a smorgasbord. You could go pay and just get whatever you wanted. You had the money, you could just do it. But now they're removing that from, yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Although we don't have any specific changes related to trait resonance at this time, this system is not planned to release in the near future, and we are still actively discussing any potential adjustments for this system with NCSoft prior to its release. While we're on the topic of upcoming systems, I want to talk about a growing desire from our players to have the ability to engage in more structured PvP outside of the competitive large-scale options currently available in the open world events and conquest battles.
Yeah.
I'm happy to say this is something we've had on our radar for a while, and we're excited to bring you a new feature that will come in mid-November that will provide on-demand battle feature. I don't want to reveal too much yet, but this will allow players to engage in non-competitive PvP across arenas and conquest battles, with varying numbers of teams and team sizes, both in public and private matches. So stay tuned for more updates about that in the coming weeks. There's been so much great feedback from everyone in the community, both positive comments and suggestions for how to improve the game. Thank you. We're really grateful that you are all this invested in helping us continue to improve the game. We're just getting started, and this week on October 31st, our first player survey will open. You will be able to access it from the Silesium notice board in-game, and I want to really encourage you to take it. We take the results very seriously, and real actions have spawned from all of our previous surveys. We're always listening to your feedback, whether it's through the surveys, reading your reviews on the major gaming platforms, or comments in Discord and social media. We're always using your voice to help guide our development and using it to improve the overall Throne and Liberty experience. So please keep the feedback coming. All right, that brings us to the community question. What we'd really like to know is, what would you like to see changed in Throne and Liberty? Leave your thoughts down below in the comments. Please like and subscribe. That lets us know that you want more of these kinds of videos. We'll read each and every comment, so let us know what you think. I really hope this was informative. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in Silesium.
That was a massive update. Probably one of the biggest ones we've actually had to date. So, yeah, seriously. Everyone should jump on board and get that survey. Look into it. Everything's pretty much on the Throne and Liberty homepage. And really look into it and give them your feedback. This game's only getting better and better. Like, they're listening to people. They're making all these relevant changes. And I have to admit, now seeing that they're actually trying to reduce the pay to win a bit because some of it was a bit probably broken a bit too much. They're listening. They're doing everything they can to sort of, cater for everyone. And I have to admit, it's been a very long time with any major MMO game that is willing to listen and take everything on board. Like we may have had a lot of updates from the start, but we are going to be very different. Global's going to be different to the way Korean servers were launched. And certain aspects are still not going to be the same, as he said. So this is going to set us apart, and any of the updates could actually be, like a domino effect and really cater to everyone. So, and possibly cater into other games. You never know. So, but yeah, that was good. The big man Tico himself. So yeah, if you got any questions, please leave a comment down below. But as always, if you're happy with the video, I'll try and get you some more content. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.